One, two, three, and we're live. We came back just that fast. Official test start time 2 minutes, 5 pages, 5 paragraphs each, 5 sentences each paragraph, 5 words per sentence, 5 computer spaces in between. You can use your hyper scientific. You're allowed to use any type of artificial intelligence, Sarah, Siri, Alexa, ChatGPT, Copilot, or DeepSeek R1. You must show the work. If you don't show the work, I'm going to assume that you use technology and you won't get any credit for it. So here we have under fair use copyright 1768, courtesy of Mauricio Ruiz, my personal business partner, amongst many, and the manager's playbook. You can log on to youtube.com, type in the search bar manager's playbook, and this episode is featuring a young lady by the name of Jessie Reyes, which you all know. And as far as from this moment forward, Mauricio Ruiz is the head of my administration and management team. So I want to give you guys some insights as we consume this content. Let me mic in. My apologies. These headsets will be replaced immediately. They have given me the best that they could have given me over the last few months. So it is time for an upgrade. I have some wireless headsets, but the delay with the Bluetooth is unbearable. So without further ado, please join us for a gathering of the minds. As usual, I'm going to be chiming in. We're going to be talking about a lot of key points. Um, I am so grateful and appreciative and speechless when it comes to the the turn of events in my life and in my career. Just in the last few months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. So we have here some peach punch. All right, every day we do something different. Um, Not gonna be eating any fruits or produce for today, but tomorrow, yes. Tomorrow on my list is a rotisserie chicken. I cannot wait. Let me charge my handheld digital platform, what you guys non-power users will call a smartphone, and this will be my communicator. So that'll be powered up and charged up, and we're all set to go as far as I know. So, without further ado, let's see if I can hook up the visual so it looks nice and kosher and copacetic, and we can fire off in real time, get a real reaction. Give me one quick second, and we will start.
I'd be dead. I'd be dead. And not figure. I mean, I'd be dead. I'd be dead.
That's heavy.
There was just too much. It was just too much, too fast, too quick. It was the small fragment of everything it could have been. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
You interrupted him already.
Jeez. Par for the course.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, guys.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, PTSD here.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to get an intro over here. Fucking working with amateurs. No, I'll do it because you brought it up, and I don't know if I'm going to continue doing the intros, but I'll do it here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, conversation like this does not come too cheap. Thank you very much, sir. That person who just whispered, who just interrupted me, ad-libs, is the one and only Byron Wilson. He is an incredible artist manager whose ton of clients has garnered multiple Juno nominations and awards, Grammy nominations. I think he's probably 10 to 12 or 13 million sold singles. Is that right? Platinums. Definitely diamond, You're looking at me as if you don't know.
I didn't really know these things.
Well, listen, your clients have garnered billions of streams as well. And that is artist manager Byron Wilson here in front of me.
Gracias.
And we talked about this before.
That's how I started my
somebody
day.
whose career very intertwined with mine. And to the right of me, left of Byron, is one of his clients, the one and only Jesse motherfucking Reyes. Those who don't know, Jesse Reyes is an incredible artist from Toronto, Canada.
Who doesn't know, bro?
So we're talking about, and Jesse Reyes has worked with everyone from Calvin Harris, Sam Smith, Dua Lipa, Normani, the list goes on and on. She is a multiple award-winning Juno artist. Is that the right way to say it?
Multiple Juno
Mm.
award winning.
Multiple Juno award-winning. 5 now? There you go. Yeah. You got 5 of those.
Single.
Thank you for holding down the Latino quota. Appreciate you.
He's used up his whole Spanish lexicon.
There we go. She's also been Grammy nominated. Jessie also has, to her name, 5 billion streams with writing and artist credits. This is a special one over here as well too, because you are the first artist to be on the Manager's Playbook. So thank you so much. Appreciate that. And it's also a special one because the 3 of us here all worked together for damn near a decade.
Mhm.
So was managing Miss Jessie fucking Reyes for 8 to 9 years. So yeah, I think this is going to be dope because I think what I haven't had a chance to do really on this podcast is talk to the experience that the artist has in this business.
Mm.
And one thing that I really admire about your career and your trajectory was how much you wanted to understand the business. And I think still to this day, it's super important for artists to understand their business. What was it about you that made you want to know so much about how this all worked? I mean, I can guess why, but in your words, why was that important to you?
Trust issues. Because I had trust issues
Oh,
about.
personally.
I had trust issues about coming into this industry. You know, when you grow up and you hear so many horror stories
Mhm.
about shit going left, and I was on the receiving end of it, and I believed a lot of it, and I wanted to make sure I was educated in what I was walking into. I wanted to make sure that I was well versed. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't giving into my fear.
Mhm.
You know, because the more you know about a subject, or the more you know about what you're scared of, the more you kind of shave down this big statue that it appears to be, and then all of a sudden it's a lot smaller because you know a lot more. So I just wanted to be more educated, more prepared, and not get fucked.
And in the process of that, you learned so much that you were able to use to your advantage and be able to figure out the structure. The paranoia was like help you figure out how this business operated. And then to your credit, also kind of it's understated how good you are in negotiation.
It's a good word for it.
It's a good one. What word would you use, Byron?
Negotiation. Yeah. Pro negotiator.
Yeah, absolutely. But on top of the negotiation, but go
There's a
ahead.
lot of chirping in this podcast.
100%.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard not to.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a cost to me coming on this podcast.
I didn't even think about that. How did you get on this podcast? Haggle. Colombian haggle right there. A Colombian haggling a Colombian. But yeah, no, I mean, I think let's go. I don't want to go. I think your story's been told a bit on other podcasts and interviews and whatnot.
Both
so
of the people that
you
got
can go
me
into
in,
the story
Colombian,
there, but
the
I
connection.
really want to talk mostly about the business and the music business and how you operated and then how you've been able to carve an incredible path, a trailblazer of a path. in this music business, blazing trails, and continue to have an incredibly successful career almost a decade in, you know? And it's amazing to see how much you've been able to succeed in this business and set a standard and really ensure that every facet of your business is being handled and having good people around you. How do you go through the process of selecting people to work with you?
Oof. It depends what
I'm doing right
I
now.
guess it depends how close someone is going to be. Actually, that's not even fair because even the people that don't even work that close with me, I put them through the ringer before I let them in. Like, for example, when we were building the band,
Right.
when we were building the band, there was a lot of questions that I didn't know were kind of looked down on in terms of HR. But I was asking a lot of questions of like, yo, what's your energy? Like, what do you like when you're mad? Do you have any issues about leaving? There was more. You're going to edit
What's your
this.
sign?
What's your sign? Are you in a relationship? Are they going to be pissed that you're leaving? Or does your partner understand that you have something bigger that you want to chase?
Right.
Like, all of these things that I would ask to make sure that whoever was on board understood the bigger picture of what it was that we were building so that there was no fuckery. And anytime that somebody would come in, no shade, no names, but anytime that somebody would come in that didn't really understand, I'm not going to say the militant era because I don't think we're militant. I didn't understand the culture of like, get in, do what we're here to do, and then keep it moving. Then it was kind of like, oh, you don't really fit here.
Yeah, you're specific.
I was very specific, yeah. And then also like relying on y'all to like help me understand like what the next step was, especially when I was reluctant when we were talking about building up the show and even getting a band before even like I was on the band, even before agreeing to getting the band, I was so reluctant. And it was just me and Junes, and I was so happy with me and Junes because it had taken so much work to get to the point where I felt comfortable on a stage by myself. So then getting a band to me,
that's crazy. You couldn't tell, from your first shows that you were not comfortable on that stage.
That's funny. Yeah, but there was like practice that went into getting comfortable, like singing into water bottles in Toronto parking lots at fucking 1 a.m.
Shout out 7-Eleven on Royal York.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was right there.
Yeah,
Used to be a
B-boy tips
7-Eleven.
from Mauricio Ruiz because he used to be a B-boy, which a lot of people didn't know.
B-boy. What's your B-boy name?
I was a lit one too. I think I had it was Juan Moto Valdez, JMV. Juan Moto Valdez. Yeah. And Cement Blocks was the first one because like when I first started learning, my fucking feet would crash on the ground.
Cement Blocks.
Cement
Like
Blocks.
that was the turf.
Yeah, and then they kind of like stuck kind of with the name a little bit.
That's funny.
But yeah, Half Truth, because I think the other part of it was because I was in music videos, so I also understood a performance side of it, right? I've seen so many artists who were not good performers in music videos, and then I saw ones who were really good, and I really kind of connected on that, and that's where I was being informed and trying to give you the presence of mind of how to perform, which you already had it on lock, because for those who don't know, Jesse Reyes is also a Toronto organized cheerleader. We're gonna put some people on blast here. But I remember you saying to me one time, I said, what's harder for you, going and performing in front of an audience of your own or a performer as a cheerleader? And you said cheerleader because you were in front of 60,000 people or 50,000 people for a Grey Cup.
Yeah.
So.
And it's not my natural, like for me, singing and creating is first before dance.
Yeah.
No? So it wasn't my natural. It's funny, I don't remember saying that.
Yeah.
It sounds about right though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was interesting about that, and we were talking about this earlier, is that I remember this being like, the start was you and Junes on stage. Shout out to Junior T, by the way. One of the best people, period.
Yeah, people.
Yeah. And he's day one. He's the first person I brought you to, was Junior T, at his studio when we had him on Young Street. But that was just the start for you and Junior. It wasn't meant to carry on throughout your entire career. But then,
I know, but I
you got
was
stuck.
so tied to it because I loved it. And it was so much work to get to the point where I felt comfortable on stage with him. And then I remember y'all being like, all right, it's time to grow. And I was like, fuck you mean grow? Like, this is great right here. This is perfect. And then I was so reluctant. And then I was like, all right, cool, well, let's build it our own. And then y'all were like, no, we need someone that knows what they're doing. And I was like, what do you mean? We can't just build this? We can't just build the band? And you were like, no, you gotta meet Matthew Burnett. And I was like, all right. And I was reluctant as hell And it's so funny because Matt is obviously like a gift of a human being too. So
Yeah.
talented.
Did you know that he was the first person he MD'd was you?
Yeah, I know. He told me that.
Yeah.
He told me that. He told me
Outside
that.
of Daniel.
Outside of Daniel
Yeah.
Caesar. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. I love that guy. But it took steps for me to love him. Because when we got started, I was so reluctant to do it.
Yeah, you know, like anything sounded different.
I didn't like. I mean, honestly, sometimes I still don't. So I prefer. You know, there's people that love going to concerts and they're like, I love when shit sounds different, and I'm like, I came here to listen to the song, but I'm not the majority. I'm not the majority, and it's something that I have to be cognizant of. But anyways, that's how I did it.
I was the same way though. Remember, same as you.
Yeah.
You and I used to always fight. We sometimes fight with Bernie. to be
with
like,
Bernie to be like, yo, secco.
less musical.
Yeah, yeah.
Make it more sound like
Less
the rap.
jazz, brother.
And you were like, nah.
I feel like me and Bernie were on the like,
It's
So I
supposed to be
show.
live.
it's supposed to be live.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to sound exactly like the
Right.
song. It's supposed
Yeah,
to sound
yeah,
like a
that's
live
right.
version.
Well, you were very important in that conversation as well to make sure that Jesse would have a bigger stage presence or a band, I should say.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
y'all being on my ass for years too, because I didn't want to use
Yeah,
ears, because
yeah.
I would always lose my voice, but
We
I
were
was
saying
so
that it used to
committed.
be a two shows max,
So much.
which made it so difficult to
so
route.
difficult.
But it was 2 shows in a row max.
And then I did 5 shows. Like I could have floated. I could have jumped out of my skin. I was so that sounds negative. I could have. I was happy. I was really happy when I was
Yeah.
able to complete those 5 shows
Yeah.
because I never thought that I'd be able. When I keep saying 5 shows, I mean 5 shows back to back to back to back to back.
Which is not easy to do.
No, it was honestly harder on the crew than it was on Jesse. Jesse was
Oh, no way.
as lit.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
voice was fucking
You
crazy.
could have done
Yeah.
another.
I could have done another.
Yeah. Now it's more so about like how many shows in a row can the crew handle.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
Than Jesse.
Yeah. Also, I was in a health group. Like everything was better, but the point is, I didn't know that my body could do that. But I wouldn't have gotten there unless I was willing to like let go of the reins and not just when we're talking about how do you build around and how do you get good people to work with, like
Yeah.
outside of me asking those sort of questions, but also relying on y'all to give me perspective on how to grow and not be so stuck on what works just
Mhm.
because I was finally comfortable. You know,
Mhm.
comfort's a fucking silent killer if you let it be. So
How much now do you not mind getting out of your comfort zone?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I live for it.
Yeah.
And when I don't, I try to remind myself that I'm like, this might be an opportunity right now. This might be an opportunity for a lesson. So I love it. I might not love it in the moment always, but
Yeah.
in retrospect, I always love it.
How important is it to ensure that the career is moving forward?
So right now, it's very important.
Yeah.
Right now, it's very important because there's still goals that I haven't hit.
Okay.
You know? So yeah, right now, it's important.
What is it? It's funny that you talk about the goals thing, and I'll get into it. I think we're just getting right to it. Is this conversation of an artist who broke? And for those who don't know, maybe Byron, if you want to describe what an artist who broke is, or like what that term means.
It's like the public's perception of like, I mean, everyone has a different perception or definition of it, but like once it's like critical mass, I guess, is what the common thing.
Maybe in the industry.
Yeah, in the industry.
Yeah. But as a general public, I don't even think they're thinking of it that way.
No.
Yeah. Do you think you broke?
I don't know. No, not to the level that I want because it's the thing is I'm very conscious of being sensitive of people hearing that haven't achieved half of what I have yet, and then they could be like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
For
And
sure.
I have that awareness enough to know that I'm like, there's a lot that I've accomplished that I worked so hard for that if you would have told me 10 years ago, this would have been the mark.
The pinnacle.
This would have been the pinnacle.
Mhm.
And it's not like some goals are still the same as they were 10 years ago, goals that I have yet to hit.
Yeah.
But there are some that are different that fall under the umbrella of the public's perception of
Right.
what critical mass would be.
Exactly. But on the outside looking in, if you 10 years ago, if you're at where you're at today, you're like, oh, it's
Yeah.
superstar.
Yeah.
Living your dreams.
But now you're inside the business. I think we all feel this way, that you haven't necessarily broke to what our standards
What
are.
our standards are.
But that's because we're so
Immersed.
exactly. Yeah, I find that super interesting. To me, I think the bar for that is even not so much critical mass, because like that means that you're a household name, right? But it's really hard to be a household name these days.
Mhm.
You know, you can name maybe like 5 or 10 that are household names.
Yeah. No, it's just, but I was about to make it personal, but you're talking in general.
No, go ahead.
The goals are very specific and household name isn't on it. But it might be
Byproduct of
it
it.
might be a byproduct of some of the goals, but that's not the goal.
I don't. Yeah. To me,
I don't necessarily think that a household name
means you broke. I don't think so either.
I think a lot of artists break that might not be household names.
I think what that means, I think for me personally, and as both of you guys,
Mhm.
arenas.
Yeah.
If you do arenas, then you broke.
You broke.
Yeah. North America.
Isn't that ironic? Because that sounds like such a antonym, like broke would be money, but when you do arenas, broke.
Yeah. That's
You know what I
pretty yeah. What is it to you?
I want song in top 5, really number 1, but I want 2 in top 5, one of mine and one that I wrote.
Okay.
That's
Simultaneous.
simultaneous.
Simultaneously.
And then obviously the Grammy, because that's still the
Yeah.
it's a promise I made to myself a long time ago that I just want to see fulfilled while I'm alive. Because
Okay.
Eye contact.
All right.
sometimes award shows and shit be fucking
Like
making
talk
a
about it,
parade
man.
and they be late as fuck.
Mhm.
So I don't want a parade once I'm dead. But you know this. I've told everybody. Chelito knows, Camila knows. I don't want nobody at my fucking funeral who didn't fuck with me when I was alive. I'll make chandelier shake. And that goes from a lot of people. So that's what I mean. I want shit when I'm alive, man. Give me more when I'm alive or save it.
yeah, that's important, man. Get those flowers while you're here. You know.
Yeah, but also I'm aware that I'm I say that and it sounds very, very cocky as if I'm due, but I also know that I've worked and I continue to work on my craft to like become a better musician, you know? And
Yeah.
work on better songs and be more open and be more willing to get out of my comfort zone and challenge myself to just grow and be better. So maybe I just haven't made the right thing yet.
No, I don't even know so much if it's not haven't made the right thing, to be honest with you. And I know Grammys is a specific goal because that's something that you wanted as you were a child. But when you get in this business, the reality is Grammys is a lot of politics.
There is a lot of
It's a lot of politics.
So when I say maybe I haven't made the right song yet, maybe I haven't made the right moves yet. So I should fall under that umbrella.
That could be that as well too. What do you think?
So
I think it goes
Venom
back to
are one in
sometimes,
the
like-
album to follow it.
Like that's specifically a promise that you made to yourself pre.
Jesse signed the release. Mauricio signed the release.
Understand.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So
Because
it's
now that I
it's
understand
interesting
it
now you understand it doesn't hold that same
as
weight.
it's
Wait.
different. It
Right.
doesn't hold the same weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
Like if you got everything else but not that, you're not like
I'm not crushed.
you're not crushed.
No,
I don't
I'm
think
like,
you even phase you at that point.
yeah.
Which
It's
is
just a matter. It's a matter of resolve at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a matter of resolve.
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah, I feel that though. I still love to get one, but it's not that I'm sleeping good.
Yeah, with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like
There's so many other measures of success and measures of like bucket list things that come with being in this business that like when you go to your grave, way more important. You're seeing the world, you're traveling with people that you love,
Yeah.
like all that shit. There's people coming to your shows screaming the words back. Like no matter what that at the end of the day you get from that organization, like there's millions of people that are giving you something every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Yeah. How important is work ethic in this business?
Work ethic.
Very.
It's a loaded question because
Yeah.
I always talk about work ethic and how important it is. But I haven't had a chance to ask an artist, what does work ethic look like in terms of being in this business and elevating your career?
Oof. Like sacrifice. It looks like sacrifice. It looks like focus. It looks like hunger. It looks like unbridled ambition. It looks like being ready and willing to learn. And it's arguably more important than talent.
Sure.
I guess
Mhm.
what separates the winners, or not, I want the talent from the ones that actually push through is
Yeah,
the ones that push through are the ones with the work ethic.
yeah. And I don't think I feel like I don't think I'm saying anything or we're saying anything that people don't already know.
I think some people don't know. I think some people think if they get like one viral hit out there,
Mhm.
then that they're made and that's it. And you
Yeah.
know what? Maybe for some people that's what it is. But if you want legacy, like you gotta really work. You gotta be sacrifice. You and when you first connected. The one thing that I realized was how I knew it was gonna work. And this is, I mean, you came to Remix, I introduced you to Remix Project. And the way that I introduced you to Remix Project, we talked about it, and I said, hey, if you're really serious about this business, you should look into this thing. But I don't know if you remember this, but it wasn't even me who said, here's the application you should apply. The way that it went down is I put it on my Facebook, and I said, if any artists are serious about the music business,
Wait,
you should apply for the Remix Project. Yeah, I was just thinking about this the other day.
crazy.
So I didn't tell you, and it was the last day that applications were due. It was the last day. And for those who don't know, the Remix Project is a nonprofit organization for kids at risk, you know,
We
between
don't have
ages
access.
who don't have access between the ages of 17 and 24. I might change now, but they give them free schooling for recording, creative arts, business of music,
Access to mentorship.
access to mentorship. Pretty much anybody and everybody in Toronto who's in the industry has some type of relationship with the Remix Project. It's changed a lot of lives. It really is ground zero for a lot of what you see on a global stage.
Yeah.
So many pivotal, important, I don't want to say important, but like game-changing individuals came out of the Remix Project. And you're one of those people. You were a participant in there. Arguably, I would say you're the most successful participant. Definitely the most successful artist out of the project. But I think you and Future the Prince might be battling who's the most successful participant because he was a participant in the project. But that's what it is. And I posted it on my Facebook, and it was the last day. And then you hit me a day later, and you're like, yo, I applied. I was like, oh, dope.
No way.
That's how it went down.
I don't remember that.
That's how it went down.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No
So-
shit.
If I didn't post that, I told you about it like
You
a
told
couple
me
of
about
months
it
prior.
months before, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like black.
Kind of went away. And then I posted it on Facebook.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Real talk.
And the day before it was the last day.
The last day of applications being submitted. Yeah. And then you went, you're like, yo, I applied. I was like, oh, dope. I didn't even think about like posting that for you to go and apply or any of that. None of that.
No way.
Yeah. That's how it went down.
Crazy.
And then you got into the program and the rest is history. But what I saw, because I consider myself to have really good work ethic, is what I saw is that your work ethic was matching mine, if not exceeding it. This one was in there, and this is, before, I don't think you've even heard anything at this point from Jesse, but
No.
this one is in there basically like the school would close at 10 p.m. Everybody would leave except, some people. Like I'd be in there staying late because I was director in residence, I think is the title of mine, and my production company operated out of there. But like if I wasn't there, if I was there, she's hanging out because I'd be in there working late, and then she'd be working and doing her thing. But if I wasn't there, this girl would hide behind the door and wait till everybody left because she knew that the dean of the program was still there working on his music as well. So everybody would leave. Yeah, exactly. This Daniel Daly, who ended up the music I think he was working on was Division. Yeah. But she would hide for like
in the production room.
30 minutes. Yeah. And then once you would hear the music going on in the studio, then she'd get back to work.
Crazy.
And then Daniel would come and be like,
And then he'd hear vibrations and he'd be like, who the fuck is still here?
yeah. But that's the work ethic that, I saw that early on. I was like, oh, this one is like serious about this thing. And then
100%.
it can't go understated as well to
100%.
the relationship with King Louis.
Everything we need.
Can we talk about that for a little bit?
I love that motherfucker. Yeah.
Shout out to King Louis. Shout out to Doe.
Shout out to Doe. Shout out to King. Shout out to Obama. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out. And not the President Obama. We're talking about Obama who was in that crew there, who was in movie.
Yeah. Shout out to Chicago, man. King Louis came to speak at the Remix Project, and I remember I walked into the studio and the room was full, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I introduced myself to everybody, and I left. And then when I had left, Gav was like, "Oh yeah, she's one of the participants. Let me play one of the songs." He played him this one song I had called "Statuses." That was about subtweets before subtweets were called subtweets. And then he came out and he was like, "That's my subtweet," or whatever. And I was like, yeah, he was like, "That's dope." And I was like, "Thanks." And then he did his talk. And then It was great. It was motivating. And then they were done, and he came over and he was like, oh no, his manager hit us, right? His manager was like, yo, Louis said he wants to work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dole said Louis wants to work. Let's link after they're gonna figure out a studio, something like that. And then no studio was figured out, but we had a condo, and it was Ricky's?
Ricardo's.
Ricardo
Ricardo
condo.
Chum.
Right. It was Ricardo's.
Shout out Ricardo.
Shout out Ricardo.
Shout out Tough Juice.
And we went there, and it was so funny because everyone that got invited was pretty much like a producer, a rapper, but like people that had shit to play, and I didn't have shit to play. I have nothing to play, and I walk in there, and it's Wonder Girl, and it's Sean Leon, and it's Redway, rest in peace, was in there, and
Spooky Black was in there.
and Doc McKinney. It
Random.
was a heavy room.
Spooky Black was there, random.
Yeah, it was a
In
heavy
Toronto.
room. And I'm there with my guitar, and we're
Yes.
like, fuck. And I was so nervous. I'll never forget being so nervous. And I remember thinking that this was an opportunity and that I couldn't blow it, regardless of how nervous I was. And then Louis was rolling his blunt, and I was like, fuck this, I'm doing it. And I got up and I was like, do you want to jam? He was like, what? And I was like, do you want to jam?
King Louis, a drill rapper from Chicago.
Yeah. He was like,
Bob
all right.
Marley?
Yo. And then I started playing, and then he started jamming, like he started freestyling, and then we ended up vibing, and then we ended up on the balcony, and then we made Living in the Sky.
Yes.
And then that night, I remember, actually not that night, that afternoon, that's funny, I talked about this yesterday, when I did the Journeys thing, shout out Remix and Remix Ambassadors. We walked downstairs and we went to that little restaurant. You remember this?
Yeah,
And
Liberty.
we were having like chickens or something, and it was like the first moment that we were like, something's happening, we're doing this.
Yeah.
I just
I think I said to you, I'm like, yeah, I think I should manage you or something.
yeah, like that was the day that shit. But I just remember that sentence, like, we're doing this.
Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah,
We're doing this.
Let's go.
Yeah. And then
No experience.
no experience.
Just trying to figure this thing the fuck out. Just like how you were.
Yeah.
My experience was the extent of like
Our music
music
videos.
videos
Yeah.
and working with managers and artists.
Yeah.
A lot of bad managers and really good artists.
Yeah.
And
And
then
really good managers.
one of
I remember you always used to say that.
Yes.
You always like, oh, there's a lot of bad ones.
yeah. There's a few good ones.
It's a lot of bad ones.
You were, yeah, exactly. You were
I
one of
found
the most terrible managers I've ever met.
And then that night, we were so gung ho, and this is why like momentum is so fucking important that people forget to like understand that you can't fucking oh my god, you can't. And I'm guilty of it. Like I need to be reminded of this sometimes, but sometimes we need people to help us remind ourselves of the knowledge that we already have. But you have to fucking take advantage of momentum. And that night, momentum was in the air, and I was like, I gotta get this done tonight. And then you hit Ricky, and Ricky was like, yeah, we could open up the studio for her. And because of Remix Project, it was the only reason that I knew how to like engineer myself on Pro Tools. So then I ended up recording my shit that night. Yeah. And I was like, did the guitar, did some shitty drum beat on the guitar, was like back and forth just to record my own shit, record my own vocals from the booth to the room, from the booth to the room all night. Got something decent. And then I can't remember if we sent it. Yeah, I sent it straight like that. And then Louis sent back the verse, and then Moose niced it up.
Yeah, he put the production
And
into
then
that.
yeah. And then we released it, and then Chance liked it, and Chance
This
heard
was
it.
months later.
Months later.
That we released. We were in Atlanta for A3C
Yeah.
when it came out.
I'm a single mom.
this is so bugged out because this is something that only like my diehard fans know and can relate to. I may make it look easy, but I have 30 something years in this business. And for the first time, I'm showing the public, the people behind my career, as I'm working on this project. And I'm showing everybody why I picked those people is because I am finally surrounded by God's people. That's all I pray for throughout my entire career. I hope that every artist finds that. because the peace of mind that I have, like the quality of life, like I trust these people with my life. I don't think there's a better way that I could explain it. When you do something for the love, the money's gonna follow. My catalog is worth all the money in the world. There's no denying it. There's nothing I can do about it. That's just the reality of my life. But the people that are part of my life are very much so more important. And for once in my life, I get to have a group of people that I can enjoy my success with. So everything that I'm negotiating right now, I really cannot describe it with words. Like the developments, the everyday to day developments. And this is one of them because I have a meeting with Byron tomorrow. So let's get back to the live action.
Sometimes we need people to help us remind ourselves of the knowledge that we already have, but you have to fucking take advantage of momentum. And that night, momentum was in the air, and I was like, I gotta get this done tonight. And then you hit Ricky, and Ricky was like, yeah, we could open up the studio for her. And because of Remix Project, it was the only reason that I knew how to like engineer myself on Pro Tools. So then I ended up recording my shit that night. Yeah. And I was like, did the guitar, did some shitty drum beat on the guitar, was like back and forth just to record my own shit, record my own vocals from the booth to the room, from the booth to the room all night. Got something decent. And then I can't remember if we sent I sent it straight like that.
Yeah,
And then Louis sent back the verse, and then Moose niced it up.
yeah, he put the production
And
into
then
that.
yeah. And then we released it, and then Chance liked it, and Chance
This
heard
was
it.
months later.
Months later.
That we released. We were in Atlanta for A3C
Yeah,
when it came out.
yeah.
But we were also strategically we were thinking as well too. It's better to put it out as King Louis featuring Jesse, even though you did 90% of the majority of the song, but because he had a name,
Yeah.
it was like it'll make more sense. It's instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
You put out Living in the Sky. We're in the studio in Atlanta, I think that same week or in and around that time. And can't forget about Nico. Nico Nice as well. He did some crazy artwork.
Shout out Nico Nice.
Nico
And
Nice.
his fucking lit ass eye.
Amazing. Yeah,
Yes.
amazing.
Taste
bro.
is so like
Yeah, his taste is.
Taste is so underrated.
Yeah.
Taste is so underrated for how relevant that shit is in somebody's like aesthetic and what somebody's putting forward. Like, and that boy has it.
Yeah, definitely. And you caught a lot of people's attention in Chicago. I would argue that more people knew you in Chicago than Toronto at the time.
Yeah, no.
People knew you in Toronto, and I still say this to this day. I don't care if it's 2024 and music business or things have changed because of social media, but I feel like if your home city can't claim you, like, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I think your home city really needs to claim who you are. And in the scene, everybody knew who Jesse Reyes was in large part due to the remix and a lot of introductions that you did and some showcases. But like on a larger scale, I think Chicago knew more about you than Toronto did because of that record with King Louis.
Yeah.
But sometimes, yeah, I feel like sometimes for most artists, that's sometimes how home grabs you is like you gotta there to see somebody leave.
That's at least, you know what? It's, in Toronto, that used to be very fucking normal.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be really normal to be like, well, the States started fucking with you. Okay, now
Okay,
we're
we
not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and in my case, yeah, Chicago fucked with me first.
Yeah, it's true.
Chicago fucked with me first.
And that was when Chance the Rapper he said, I think this is one of my favorite King Louis songs.
And tweeted it, yeah. And then we linked up with their squad, and then we started going to every single fucking show. We became a shadow to that squad to the point that it might have been a little weird. So shout out to them for letting us just hang.
Nah, they were cool, man.
So cool. We
Yeah.
learned so much, man. Shout out Pat too. Like everyone
Yeah.
was just mad cool, and it was so sick. As someone that had no fucking like no experience, no knowledge, no nothing, and being able to like watch him command the stage, being able to watch how they move, being able to like, it was just so beneficial.
It was a different time, but, and you know, like, I know Chance and Pat they're going through these things, and I hope that the things are resolved, but like, you can't discredit how they changed the game.
This
I'm so happy to have made it through all the eras to be part of this generation right now. Like everything that's happening right now, everything that I'm negotiating, everything that I've done, all leads to this crowning achievement of a moment. I'm so fucking proud of all the artists. I'm not gonna mention them because we're still in negotiations, but as soon as we do that and this NDA shit is cleared, it's game over, yo. Shout out to everybody on my team.
Chance absolutely changed the game. If you want to take that away from them,
Shout out to Chance
go
the
for
Rapper.
it. But we were there.
We were there.
We were
saw it.
outside and we saw
Russ,
it
I
first.
mean, the list goes on.
And we saw it so much. I don't know
Little
if you guys
Russ.
remember this, but every single meeting when the bidding war started happening with you, every meeting people were talking about Chance and Pat and trying their best to discredit them because they were afraid
Yeah.
that.
That was going to be the
That was the
norm.
model.
And it started well, and it did become that. But
Yeah.
Pat, specifically with me, I mean, he was, he's younger than me, but he was a mentor to me. He was super helpful,
Mhm.
and I had bare questions for that guy.
Yeah.
And he always answered them. He was always super helpful. And I remember him saying, he's like, you don't need the record labels. You don't need them. Like you can do it this way. And he's like, and I remember saying to him, because we were talking about distribution, I go, well, how did you put the music up? He's like, $2. I was like, what? That's it?
$10.
Yeah. And I know people want to talk about the Apple Music thing and everything, but it's like, yeah, they still own 100% of the copyrights, whether Apple Music get them a bag or not. You can put the music in front of people, but if the people don't gravitate towards it, then they don't gravitate towards it. Carl, I want to say, and maybe some other people there identified that people were connecting with Chance's music and they put it in front of more people. Back when TikTok wasn't a thing and editorial was, people started really fucking with Chance. But like that was all completely independent, man. Yeah, you built your relationships through the way, but that's what you do. It's a business of relationships. That's what you do. So yeah, shout out to those guys because they were super instrumental in our career and what we did. But yeah, that's when in Toronto started coming around and hearing about you. But then we went to LA.
Yeah, well, shit started going, and then you sent stuff over to Busy to get some advice and some ears on
Yes.
it, and then the team started going, and then around that time was when you sent it to Jeremiah.
Yep.
And then Jeremiah was like, "She's kind of dope."
I was telling earlier, I was like, I remember him having like a very blasé, like, yeah, it's cool.
Really?
Yeah. And then,
No way, that was it.
He's like, yeah, it's cool. She got dope tone.
Not with me.
Yeah.
When we spoke.
And then we did it, and I was like, oh, sick. He was playing very fucking cool.
No way.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Like, it's very fucking
Very
cool.
cool.
That's funny.
But yeah, Jeremiah was like pivotal in I mean,
And so much.
yeah, like I don't think I would have made the move to LA if he hadn't kind of like started that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we moved.
That's crazy.
When we did the pub deal with him,
Yeah.
we got that check.
With Sunreal.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. When you said we
Yeah.
made something.
yeah. With me and Sunreal, when we got that check, we basically used that to get to LA, and then Jeremiah helped us, was floating us around and helping with the label conversations, and then we made the
Oh, wow.
move
Okay.
in 2015, and then we started. I joined the team February 2016.
Yeah.
By way of like showing Jeremiah and you guys were coming to the crib at the time,
Yeah,
time,
crashing at your house
crashing at the house.
on an air mattress.
Yeah,
Tough.
yeah, shitty air mattress. Yeah,
Bananas. Yeah, and then
cat hair everywhere.
yeah, and I had completely allergies,
Oh, yeah.
but I didn't have that much money, so we were staying at the crib,
Deal with it.
dealing
Yeah,
with it.
they're right
Oh,
out
we're
on the
pulling up
street.
to LA. We were figuring out every which way possible. Oh man.
3 sessions a day was the
Yeah.
norm.
No, but
Yeah,
even D'Lo was letting us crash in his condo as well too.
Yeah.
D'Lo's condo too.
Yeah. Yeah. People were just trying to help however they could, Hasby,
Yeah.
that's wow.
Yeah.
I forgot that was the name of it. But like everybody was people
People
saw like
believe.
because I think a major part of it is your talent for sure. They believe, but you saw we were working our asses off.
Willing shit into existence. Like we just refused to take a L.
Refused.
Yeah, everything
like
was gonna
that.
be fucking. Everything was gonna be a win
Mhm.
somehow.
Yeah.
Like going back to that work ethic thing you talked about is like that's another important part about the artists that push through is that you refuse to take the L, but you all start taking L's every day.
Yeah.
Every day is a
Nonstop.
fucking
Oh,
L.
every day's enough.
Every day's an L, but you don't. Those L's don't even phase you. Like you gotta let L's roll off
Yeah.
your back. Because really, if you break down this industry and you break down people, you're taking more L's than you're taking
Way
W's.
more. Way more.
You're
can't be
taking
afraid.
the L's just to get the one W. And
But that's
It's-
like
it's
that
research
Kobe
you said.
stat.
Yeah.
That's like that. Like how many? If you
Yeah,
really work out how many fucking shots to why you have that many, you missed a lot.
You missed a lot.
You missed a lot, but that's what it takes.
yeah,
What were you saying?
Well, you say it all the time. Feel faster.
yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
there was
just
a lot of that.
it's just failing over and over and over, and then your definition of like what a W is obviously changes, because like, you know, you do 1 million streams first week. Some people that's a W. You get a certain point in your career, like, that's not a W anymore.
Yeah, crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even as you succeed, your definition of a W changes, and then so by nature of that, you're just taking more L's again.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to level up.
Well, so when you came on board at that time,
Mm-hmm.
this is
2016.
2016.
2016.
Yeah, and the first thing that Byron heard was Figures from their trip to Sweden,
Yeah, picked you up from the airport.
Yeah.
and this is
Like
eight
Figures.
and this is 8 months
I was
before. Do what?
No, I remember I was telling earlier. I was like, I felt like the cornball like LA manager being like, "This is gonna change your life." But I said it to you in the car. I was like, "This is like, This is it. This is it. This is like everything needs to be about this. Or, like everything needs to be about this song."
Yeah,
And I remember it took a little bit of like convincing because you were like, "I don't think so." Yeah, and I was like, "No," because you guys had already had the thing is you guys already had the majority of Kiddo, minus I think Figures and Great One.
Crazy.
Everything else was done.
Yeah.
Shut up.
yeah.
Crazy.
And so it was like
We had
it was like
so we had a track list and everything.
yeah. So when Figures came, I was like, "This is the one," and you guys were kind of like, "No, we already got the project."
Whoa,
But it was like,
I did not say that.
oh sorry.
I
Well, maybe
heard Figures and I said, "This is
Yeah, I think it was
smash."
you were resistant on it, but it was just
But
like
you know what helped get you across the line was because Dana also identified it as like, no, this is the record. And I remember going to Spotify and we were playing the EP, and I'll never forget Nate Wozniak as well. He's like,
Figures is it.
these songs are dope because we were thinking about putting up Fuck It first.
Fuck it
Fuck
first. I love
it.
Yeah,
this
Fuck it.
song.
You want to fuck it first.
Yeah. Wait, like great
Fuck
start. But, yeah, but fuck it. And he's like, that song's cool, but he's like, but this Figure song
Yeah,
is
is it?
and everybody knew. But I remember when we first. This is now on the bidding wars, and I'm going a little bit ahead. But I remember going into Mr. Morgan took us to 40 studio, and I'm pretty sure that's the first time 40 ever heard the music, and we played him the whole EP. And,
Yeah, I remember that actually.
Yeah.
Wow, I remember that.
You remember now? Yeah. And he's like, but you've got some interesting new sounds over here. But this song Figures, I don't know if you knew that you're writing it or not, but this
But he delivered that praise in such a funny way because he was like these fucking songs that are only 4 fucking chords, and all of a sudden it's a masterpiece.
Is that what- yeah.
He said something along that line, or along those lines. He was like, because he was saying like how it's so fucked that like sometimes you can work so hard,
So hard
for
on
the thing,
something.
and then you have this one song that could be 4 chords and it's fucking it, and it's fucking it. It's it, and I was like, true.
Yeah.
It's like the 100 gigs that just came out with 40. Sometimes these things happen. You
Yeah.
know, they saw that and they said that. Sometimes they happen.
Harry's Body Wash has sophisticated scents like cypress and
It's all coming together in a way that I can rarely, at this point in my life, describe with words. People have no idea. People just don't understand. Like, even if I try my best to explain it, it's more something like after we signed this deal, then people will look back and remember moments and say, wow, like now I understand, As much as I could try to prepare my loved ones, they have no idea. They have no idea what's gonna happen in the next few months. They just don't know.
When ditching their old mattress for this one,
But yeah, shout out to 40 as well too. He was very good. But this song Figures, I don't know if you knew that you're writing a hit or not. But this
But he delivered that praise in such a funny way because he was like these fucking songs that are only 4 fucking chords, and all of a sudden it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
He said something along that line, or along those lines. He was like, because he was saying like how it's so fucked that like sometimes you can work so hard,
So hard on
thing,
something.
and then you have this one song that can be 4 chords and it's fucking it. And it's fucking it. It's it. And I was like, true.
Yeah.
It's like the 100 gigs that just came out with 40. Sometimes these things happen. You know, saw that and they said that. Sometimes they happen. But yeah, shout out to 40 as well too. Very giving with his.
I love 40. Yeah, very
Great
giving with
people.
his knowledge.
Yeah, super.
Very giving with his knowledge.
And but yeah, and that song was out at that time, a few months. But I don't know if you ever heard it. But he was like, "This is a smash."
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up. Then you were like, okay. When you heard it a couple of different times from a few different people, because the one thing, and this is what's really interesting to have you here as well too, is the relationship and the dynamic between management and artists. It's a very close one. It's a very personal one. So at certain times, the artist and the manager can tune out each other, and you'll tune each other out, right?
Not out of like disrespect, not out of
No.
like
It's not
lack of
intentional.
appreciation. It's literally it's the same way that if you like you sleep in your bed every day and you're not gonna appreciate it being bed because you're just used to it. You're used to it being comfortable, so you don't
Right.
like, this is part of my everyday reality. So it doesn't really make a dent in
Yeah.
your day
Yeah,
anymore.
it's like-
Sometimes.
It's like your folks or your best friends
That's
or something.
exactly what I
Yeah,
equate
it's
to.
like if your folks or your best friends telling you something all the time, like it's cool, that's cool, whatever. But then as soon as somebody else,
It
says
kind of
the
hits
same
different
shit.
sometimes. You're like,
It
oh
hits
shit.
different.
oh shit,
Yeah, because you're in constant communication. Like the only way this shit works for an artist to be able to get to a level of cassette, at least how I've seen it. I don't know about you guys. Is like you gotta be lock and step, artist and manager.
Yeah.
Like that's the most important relationship.
same page.
Right?
Mhm.
Same page. But again, there are times that managers can't get through because of what you said. Not like trying to diss or anything,
No.
but then that's why there are times where you have to.
The tertiary, then
The what? Say that again? No, I don't know what you just said. You said the tertiary?
Yeah, like as in not.
Always using these words. I don't know what to...
As in not like the people that are not in the core circle.
Yeah,
people
okay.
are still part of the team, but the people that are not in the core circle.
Exactly.
Like Dana or like anybody else,
Mhm.
which not to diminish her role, but
No, of course not.
she was it continues to be so instrumental in what we do. But having the sounding board of people you trust that aren't necessarily right next to
in the
you.
trench, like that.
Yeah.
In terms of like, the sounding board being like, yo, that's it, and you're like,
You're like,
huh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
And then you put that record out.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this before a couple of times, but I'll do it with you here. And I don't know if you remember this, but before we put out the video, it was Dana's email in the description. And
you asked us to change it.
you said Dana's dope and everything, but like, why aren't your guys' emails on here? So,
I said that?
yeah.
Mhm.
No way.
And shout out to Dana. I mean, like, love her, but you said you're like, no, it should be your guys' email. And that was like the last thing we changed on the description. Yeah. And we changed it to our emails 48 hours later,
Yeah.
24 hours
So it was
later.
mayhem. I remember y'all being like, look at this. And it was just like nuts.
Mhm.
It was insanity. Yeah. Because you came out of nowhere. To Dana's credit, she hooked up, it mattered a lot more back then, but the, premieres and the blog premieres and the Zero
The
premiere.
Zero premiere and the favorite premiere.
I'll never forget Zane. Shout out to Zane, but like you can clearly tell he's reading a piece of paper when he's introducing figures.
Mhm.
I think he even like messed up a word or something. There's something there that you can't understand what he's saying, and then when the song is done,
It's
it's
a
like,
hem.
that's a hem.
That's a
It's-
hem.
That's a hem. That's a hem. And he went off about it for like 2 minutes. And that's when we were like, oh, wow, we got something.
Mhm.
And then it came out New Music Friday again, editorial, and fucking 24 hours later, the entire world of the music business was hitting up our emails. And then we took 6 months to figure out what we
What
wanted.
we were doing.
No, I yeah, a little bit.
It was
Yeah.
it was intentional.
It was
was
very
intentional.
intentional. I don't say that like we were fucking blind going in, but I mean like fucking figuring out how the fuck to move in a room full of vultures. We were fucking figuring it the fuck out.
Yeah, because none of us ever experienced
That
that
level.
level. Yeah.
So it's different.
Why do you think that was so important to take our time with that?
To make the right decision. To make sure that we weren't like tying ourselves in a contract that I'd look back on and be fucking disappointed about. To make sure that we were seeding out who was genuine and who wasn't, because when there's blood in the water.
I don't. To be honest, for me, it wasn't that important, but you were
Yeah.
meticulous about this.
Mhm. For me, it was,
Maybe we can edit it up. We'll edit it out if anything. But I remember, we'll never forget this. There was two things with Jesse whenever we went into these meetings.
Mhm.
This is why sometimes we didn't. There's no way. You and I could have been like, this is the guy. This is where it should be. And you're like, he didn't look me in the eye. That was a big deal for you.
yeah,
He didn't look me in the eye. And the other thing was, whenever somebody would say her or she and didn't say your name, Jesse,
Yeah, or addressing me.
or address you directly, that was so important to you. And
I remember not getting it.
you not getting it.
I was like-
Well, I understood it being Colombian because
Because it's a language thing.
It's a language thing. But I remember like I would never be offended if someone said he to me.
While you're in the room. Oh yeah, he says that all the time. He doesn't even care.
yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But I think also, it's the thing that we
But I
don't-
get it.
But we don't understand it because it's not, the plight of a woman, right?
Yeah,
This is
Regarding the eye contact.
yeah. I know it's
well, not
funny
just
because I beg
the
it
level
now.
of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I beg it now like crazy. And I'm like,
Interesting
You
that
know,
someone wouldn't
yeah.
do that. Like walk into a room and introducing themselves to you.
yeah.
Like,
And it's funny because
I remember someone doing that in the studio. I won't say who, but and then you got up and you're like, "Hi, my name
Hi.
is Jesse Reyes."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
you're not." Yeah, because sometimes people think that the girls in the studio will be like, just there for the party or whatever.
or
And she's
sometimes
like,
straight
"Nah."
up people are just don't know how to act around the artist.
They didn't even know that she was an artist at the time. But no, yeah, I guess during the
There
label
is
stuff,
there is sometimes that where people
Yeah.
are just like a little bit nervous around the artist. And
Yeah,
you can
but
tell
I didn't
that
have nothing to my name for it to
Yeah.
merit any nerve. It was
Yeah.
just disrespect.
Mhm.
It was like,
No, but I mean at the time with the bidding war stuff, everybody was
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
suppose. Oh, you mean yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like in studio with other artists because I don't know how many artists knew, but all the
yeah,
execs.
for sure.
Yeah.
But-
I think also it was like just learning how like we really took advantage of learning how like all the different departments would work and shit. Like
Yeah.
like when we would meet with the chairman or the A&R or whatever, we'd be like, oh cool, can we meet with like marketing? And can we meet with digital? And can we see like the D2C team? And like
Yeah.
I remember doing all
I
those, like
remember that.
literally meeting with like the merchandise teams back when the labels had the merch teams
Yeah,
and like sitting through all that stuff,
Yeah.
crazy.
you know?
Yeah.
We were asking all kinds of
Yeah.
questions.
What
Yeah,
happens? If,
international-
what happens? If,
International.
and it's nice because people knew that we had like everybody like knocking on the door. So because we had that leverage, we took full advantage of being able to like lift the hood and ask every single question, whether appropriate or not.
Sit
We
with
were
we
asking
would sit
everything.
with commerce. And then we did the UK and met all the UK counterparts just to
We
be
met
like,
with
right.
all the UK counterparts.
to just be like, okay, so how do y'all work with the US and how does this?
I mean, because we were thinking about signing it potentially in the UK.
Correct.
Everything
Yeah.
there was nothing off the table for
Yeah.
us. We were just like, and nothing off the table also meaning like there was also the route of doing this independently because,
Mhm.
and that's where I remember looking at the TuneCore account one time and the statement,
Mhm.
and I'm like, what the fuck? And I saw the number that was in there, like, I think maybe like a month later.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a lot of money. And I hit you and I'm like, yo, Biz, have you seen this TuneCore statement? And you're like, no. I'm like, log on. And we saw the number, you're like, fuck. So we were in no hurry.
Yeah.
I used to say it all the time. I think the number that I saw there was like the equivalent of what the salary would have been for a lawyer, a doctor, and engineer for a month's pay combined. That's what I saw in
Yeah.
that. And I was like, yeah, we're chilling. We can do this ourselves. if we
We're
want.
chilling.
Yeah.
We're chilling. We're taking our time. We're gonna figure
Yeah.
this out.
It's funny.
And again, that took from me this credit to Pat, because Pat was like, he's like, take your time. Because I remember there was a phone call that it was like a moment that I was like really pumped to go. But I called Pat right afterwards because it was a lot of fucking anxiety
Yeah.
for me. Because it was stressful. It was fun, but it was stressful.
Yeah.
Because we were trying.
You don't want to fumble it.
You don't want to fumble.
And this
Fumble
is
the moment.
our careers.
Mhm.
Very, like, we knew how badly we wanted to make this work. I remember calling Pat, and he goes, "You feeling it?" I'm like, "Yup." And he's like, "Go take all the meetings.
Mhm.
Even if you're not going to do a deal somewhere, go take the meetings, go learn. The worst thing that could happen is that they introduce you to some of their artists and you can do some features with them."
Mhm.
That's what he said. And right after that call, I was like, "Yo, let's go take these meetings."
Mhm.
And we were
Doing the rounds.
months of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, crazy.
It was a crazy time.
Crazy time.
Crazy time. A lot of dinners, a lot of free dinners. A lot of free dinners.
A lot of free dinners.
But it was important. I think, and now in today's day and age, would you say that artists, I mean, even then, artists didn't necessarily need the record label, but do you think if you're going to give advice to an artist or a new manager?
No.
Yeah, now. What's the advice?
I mean, honestly, it's.
Again, words cannot describe the gratitude that I feel and how valuable this is for anybody that's ever been creative or had the heart to pursue their dreams. It's an amazing time if you just pay attention. Every day is a new opportunity to learn something new. And you never know the potential that can be developed from that. Just having an open mind.
You always want.
Was, "You feeling it?" I'm like, "Yup." And he's like, "Go take all the meetings.
Mhm.
Even if you're not going to do a deal somewhere, go take the meetings, go learn. The worst thing that could happen is that they introduce you to some of their artists and you can do some features with them."
Mhm.
That's what he said. And right after that call, I was like, "Yo, let's go take these meetings."
Mhm.
And we were
Doing the rounds.
months of that. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
It was a crazy time.
Crazy time.
Crazy time. A lot of dinners, a lot of free dinners. A lot of free dinners.
A lot of free dinners.
But it was important. I think, and now in today's day and age, would you say that artists, I mean, even then, artists didn't necessarily need the record label, but do you think if you're going to give advice to an artist or a new manager?
No.
Yeah, now. What's the advice?
I mean, honestly, it's. You always want to make sure that you're garnering leverage. I don't think that that's changed, and right now leverage looks like numbers. I mean, back then leverage looked like numbers too, but now they look like different numbers on particular apps. And it's in your best interest to garner that, and whether or not it looks like numbers or it can look like even the impetus of you starting a community, because that's an indication of what's possible. If you're able to start to cultivate a fucking solid community, it doesn't need to be in the millions of numbers. That's an indication of what you're capable of, And so that can be projected, and that can also garner you leverage in a situation where you want to use a label's money to help fund your own shit. That being said, there's also loans. There's also other ways to go about it. There's also, like, if you're in Canada, there's the benefit of bursaries and, things like that. So I don't know if you necessarily need it, but what you do need, and that goes without question, is a good team. That's something that it just hasn't changed. And as much as somebody could be like, yeah, but you could go viral on TikTok, you could go viral on this and whatever the fuck, great, that might hold you over, but that's not going to give you a solid career that nobody could test within 5 years or 10 years,
What's the most valuable role that your managers have played throughout your career?
Counsel on decisions where y'all have a better vantage point than I did.
Mhm. We're seeing it differently.
You're seeing it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing it differently. And helping deeply with, she sounds funny, but helping deeply with self-reflection for anywhere that I was particularly holding myself back. Yeah, that's like essential. And I've said this before where I'm like, it's the best analogy is like I could hold something of so much value in front of me and all I'll see is red and I'm like, it's red and y'all will be sitting there be like, Jesse, that's a rose. That's a rose you're looking at. And all you're
Right.
seeing is red. You know? And it's happened more than once where I'm like, that really helped. And I guess it goes hand in hand, yeah, because you guys having a different vantage point and also that applies to both of my points because when I said it first, I meant for outside and like dealing with other people and dealing with other plans, but also same point, but inside.
Mhm.
Understanding the lay of the land inside and understanding where I had to let go of the reins and where I had to challenge myself and all that.
That was difficult for you. You know, from what I remember is decisions. I mean, you've always been at the for every single. This is where I think you're an amazing artist as well too, and business person, is because you have innately you understand kind of how to move in a room full of vultures, and I think you always have really good decision making qualities, like really good. But what ends up happening is when everything starts coming at you, it comes at you really fucking fast.
Mhm.
Like especially when you all of a sudden have a song and everybody wants to sign you. So then what things could happen is you get the bottleneck of trying to
Yeah.
make decisions.
And you're paralyzed in indecision.
Mhm.
And I think you sometimes may have had
I
some
suffered from it.
you suffer. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it that, but you know what I mean. You've had your challenges with it. At what point? And I've noticed as of late that you are better at delegating that stuff. And actually, when I was working with you, because I don't work with you guys anymore, and I stepped away from the business in 2022.
Well, mine's a doubling, but yeah.
Well, we could say
That's one of the price point of coming on this podcast.
well, we could say that. So I'm on a consulting basis,
Right.
right? So, which is dope. But even then, I started to see that you were getting a lot better at delegating. What was it? Was there like a specific moment that you were like, you know what, I can't be in all these decisions. I gotta like let my team do their thing.
Do you remember a specific moment?
I don't.
Do you?
I think that over the last, I think there's ways, and it depends on how crazy it is. And I feel like when there's a lot coming at you, you definitely will dial back on like, you'll be like, yo, y'all run with that. Like especially on the music front, like between you and Jeremiah, there's been a lot of like,
Nice.
there's been a lot of like, yo, you take that and bring it to me when you're happy with it,
Yeah.
and then I'll wait. Rather than before in the past, it was like I need to hear every single
Yeah.
step of the way.
Oh,
and I
right.
need to weigh in.
Mixer's worst nightmare. You had to be in the studio
Yeah.
with them while they were mixing.
Yeah.
So I think you've grown a lot in that, and then I also think in like a lot of strategy stuff, you love to be a part of the conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the ending of this chapter. We are at 57:18 and 1:08 hour time. Okay. I'm on the East Coast, so time is a little bit different for me. You guys have a 3-hour delay. Final reflections. I'm very, very excited by what I've seen. I see a lot of similarities between me and Miss Reyes. I think this is a match made in heaven, man. That's probably the best way that I can express it. So we still have about another 2 chapters. So have an amazing day. May you conquer everything in your path. May everything that you touch turn into solid gold. Always remember to dream big because dreams come true. It happened to me, and I know for a fact it's going to happen to you. We'll tune right back in faster than you can do this. But I just want to say thank you. For me, this is all the time that I have for the day. But we'll get right back to it for tomorrow, first thing. So thank you so much. And send me everything in a PDF on my email. You guys have 72 hours. This will count as extra credit towards your finals and exams. Holla at your boy. You have the best teacher in the whole wide world. But it's time to get some rest. I have to be up first thing tomorrow. Got a million and one things to do. And shout out to you, Jo. I got a meeting with Jo first thing in the morning. I got a meeting with Byron at 5 o'clock. So I have to. Well, I already put my alarm for that. And got another album to turn in tomorrow. And we'll go from there. Maybe we'll publish another article, Future Tech Plus. We're gonna be creating content all day, the same way that we do every day. And I'll let you guys know what decisions I make. Once again, I was supposed to be flying internationally last Saturday. They're telling me it's gonna be this Saturday. We'll see. We'll take everything one day at a time. In this industry, I don't ever get my hopes up. We negotiate every single day, and then we'll see if we can host a meeting, which is what we're gonna ultimately have to do. Regardless, within the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna have to be taking probably like 8 to 12 meetings a day until further notice. So looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next one. Always remember to dream big because dreams come true. Highlight your boy.